Thank you, Dan. Welcome, everyone. It's 6 minutes after the hour. It is Thursday, September 12th, 2014. 2014. I'm off to a great start, Shane.
Yeah,
I wish it was 2014. Maybe.
that's Saturday morning.
It's 2019. Jeez.
Yeah.
My brain's going. I'm starting to sound like Biden more every day, I don't know if I can last another year here or not.
Oh, of course you are.
Of course I
just
can.
just the time of day. It was too bumpy of a ride in. That's
That's
all.
right. Yeah, it was very bumpy coming in this morning. Well, it's 48 degrees outside, and Shane Taubman, half man, half amazing. My co-host from Vancouver, British Columbia, Tom Eagle-Off, your morning mayor, in the house, and this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And we've got to let people know, Shane, a lot of people don't have dental insurance. You know that, right?
That's right.
In many
Yeah.
cases, it's not available to folks. Well, Hayes Dental Group is going to offer free dental care. And this is going to be a week from tomorrow, September
Wow.
20th, 2019. And this is the day when we give back to a community that's been so wonderful to us. You get a choice of filling, extraction, or cleaning, and will be performed on those 18 years or older, or children accompanied by a parent or guardian who can't get
Wow.
dental care anywhere else. And this is the seventh year they've done this, seventh annual event they've done this, and so. But arrive early. Registration starts at 7:30, so they're going to take names and call you as first come, first serve. And patients are encouraged to arrive early, dress appropriately for the weather, and to bring chairs, blankets, water, snacks, whatever, because you may be waiting outside because the waiting room may not hold everybody that shows up. So during the
Wow.
day, But anyway, it's going to start at 7:30. The event hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So they'll be there doing this all day for you.
Wow.
And for more information, 586-2117, 586-2117, or go to hayesdental.com. And they're located at 1226 Stone Ridge Drive in Bozeman. That's over behind the Holiday gas station, I believe, if I'm correct on that. And here in Bozeman. And again, the event hours are 8 to 5. That's next Friday, not tomorrow, but the 20th, September 20th. Free dental care hosted by Hayes Dental Group, and they'll give you your choice of either filling cavities or if you got a tooth that's unsalvageable, let's get it out. So so if you're in pain with a bad tooth, or if you just need a cleaning, if it's been a while since you've had your teeth cleaned and need them cleaned, they'll take care of you. And again, 18 years or older, or you need to accompany anyone 18 years or younger. But they will take care of you, and that again is next Friday, the 20th. For more information, 586-2117, 586-2117. So good for them. 7 years they've been doing this. So
Wow. How cool is that?
that is a cool deal. If you can.
I mean, they're gonna have to put signs up for the end of the line this direction.
Yeah, right. Probably that may be true.
This will be a loop around the building.
It could be, yeah. And
Yeah.
well, let's hope they have good weather for it. Let's hope that people
Yeah,
don't
that
have
would
to
be
sit in their
nice, yeah.
cars or sit in chairs with umbrellas or snow.
Take a number.
Yeah, snowboard or whatever. But yeah, registration will start at 7:30, and so get over there if you need help. And they'll do those three things. They'll either do a filling for you or extract a bad tooth if it's unsalvageable, and also they will do the cleaning for you. So there you go.
Well, I don't have this feeling, that it's like one of these, Western dental offices from the 1800s with a barber's chair.
Yeah.
No,
where they
that.
put their
Couldn't
knee
do that.
put their knee in your chest and
Yeah.
hold you down while they
With a pair of pliers.
Yeah, pliers pull your tooth out with a little whiskey and the
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, take a drink of this and bear
And
down.
a bar towel. Let's shove a bar towel in his mouth.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
Just kidding.
Yeah, right. Weather today, patchy fog before 7 a.m., so you may want to leave a little early if there's going to be some fog out there. Otherwise, sunny with a high near 69 today. Calm winds. Should be a pretty nice day, I guess, once the sun comes out. And tonight it's going to be clear, low around 44 again, little breezy, a little cold in the evening. So bundle up if you're going out, but 44 will be our overnight low tonight. On Friday, sunny with a high near 74, a little more normal temperature for this time of year. And winds could get up to 18 miles an hour. They'll be coming out of the west, so sometimes we get some gusty winds from there. And then on Friday night, there is a 20% chance of rain before midnight, and then partly cloudy, low around 47 overnight on Friday. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 76 and south winds, so that should be pretty nice. Those could go up to 22 miles an hour. And Saturday night, partly cloudy with lows around 51, so a little bit warmer on Saturday night. Sunny and nice, a high of 81 on Sunday. 81 on Sunday. That'll be refreshing. And then a slight chance of rain after midnight. Then partly cloudy with a low around 53 degrees. And then on Monday for your commute back to work, slight chance of rain, mostly sunny, high near 76. And Monday night, chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a low around 48. So that'll get you up to speed on your days around the area, I guess, as you're commuting back and forth. Temperatures around the area right now: Livingston is 45 degrees, Manhattan's 46, Three Forks 46, Gallatin Gateway is 46, Ennis is 42, Big Sky is 37, and at the airport at Belgrade is 46 degrees and cloudy right now, and we are right at 47 degrees here in downtown Bozeman at 13 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m., and that will take care of your weather. Our poll question from yesterday, where were you when 9/11 happened? 34% of you said you were at work. 21% were getting ready for work. 13% said they were somewhere else. 10% had a day off from work. 5% were in high school, and 5% were in college. 2% weren't born yet. 2% were in elementary school. 2% retired, and 2% on vacation. So that's where the people were when 9/11 happened.
Well, and that gives you an idea how vast it affected everyone, because they all remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true, yeah. Well, our poll question today: how would you rate KMMS listeners' intelligence?
Brilliant.
How would you do that?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
They're off
Brilliant.
the charts. Well, in early voting, 37% believe they're pretty smart, better than most. 25% think indubitably they are impeccably intelligent. 25% think they're rock dumb but still happy. And 12% think all of the above.
So, that's a fair call. That's right. An easy out, though. That's an easy out.
That's an easy out. Yeah, all of the above's an easy out for that. So. Well, let's see on this day.
If you don't take a position, then you're in the middle of the road, and the only thing you find there is roadkill.
That's right. Yep. That yellow line is all you got there. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1609, English explorer Henry Hudson, and that's the only reason we mention this is because it's Henry Hudson who sailed into the river that now bears his name. Otherwise, this day would just be nothing in 1609.
That's probably true. He made 3 trips, one in 1607 and 08 and then 11. And it was such a bad winter in 11 because they spent the winter on the Hudson's Bay, wintering at James Bay there. So his crew mutinied, and they sent him and his son and seven others adrift. They were never heard from again. The result of which, they named Hudson Bay after him, and the British merchants that, had paid for his, travels, his sea exploration, named the Hudson Bay Company after him. So, great beginning, sad end.
Mm-hmm.
Sad end.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Well, I don't know why we even need to mention this. 1880, journalist and critic H.L. Mecklin, Mencken
Mention.
was born in
Men,
Baltimore. If I can't even pronounce his name, why do we even bother?
well,
I mean,
he was because he was an American journalist, essayist, satirist, cultural critic, and scholar of the American English language.
oh, well,
Remember that famous My Fair Lady story?
yeah.
Okay, so his most renowned accomplishment was his satirical reporting of the Scopes trial,
Ah,
which he's the one who dubbed it the Monkey Trial.
the monkey
That
trial.
and that's it.
So that's his claim to
Next,
fame, huh?
next,
All right. Well, in 1938, in a speech in Nuremberg, Adolf Hitler demanded self-determination for the Sudean Germans in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, it's a remarkable thing. Nuremberg is not. It's not well centered in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the southeastern part of Germany, but it's not. It's a large city. I mean, it's well over 500,000 people, but it has an ancient history, and they built a massive stadium there for 100,000 people. And he liked having night speeches with torches, and they always had the Nazi Party had its party, its national party
Convention?
convention. Thank you, very good. Annually there. So yeah, this was the big year where he, made the speech. And it's like so many guys like this. They tell you exactly what they're going to do,
Mm-hmm. And do it.
and no one believed him, right?
Yeah, right.
And that, of course, the famous PM of England went over to try and talk him out of it, and then gave up and let him take Czechoslovakia, but had a promise.
Yeah.
He would not do anything else.
Yeah.
Peace in our time. Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. That'll happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you got to give Adolf credit, man. He took a nearly bankrupt country, and in 4 years, one step from world domination almost, if it hadn't been for us and, some other allies. Yeah. All right, we got to take care of our ranchers and farmers and cab drivers, truck drivers, all the people that bring you food, booze, and clothing. And we'll be right back right after these important words from those fine folks at the Montana in Agriculture, right after this. 24 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m., it's Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 47 degrees outside. We're looking for a high near 67 today, so we'll keep an eye out for that. From our text line, Shane, 478-8298. Remember, there was one who saw Hitler for what he was, Winston Churchill, and people mocked and reviled him for saying what he saw in Hitler. Too bad he was ignored before it was too late for millions. And that's from Cam.
Remember, we read, one of Churchill's jobs was a journalist, and the last several years we've read his report from India and Pakistan about Muslims in the Middle East and Israel. And, he wrote about the Muslims in 1898, and no one's listened to him about that since either.
Yeah. So
there you go.
All right. Let's move on, because on this date in history, German paratroopers rescued former Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. I get those two confused because they're both Marxist lowlifes. Italian dictator Benito Mussolini from the hotel where he was being held prisoner by his own government.
People, he was the government was collapsing because the Allies had basically opened Rome, and it was June 6th, and they were landing in France, and him and his family went north, and before they could get over the border with that mountain country of freedom in
Switzerland,
yeah, where he had all his money waiting for him.
Yeah,
the crowds caught up with him. Let's just say.
Oh man. Well, he was
nasty end for a nasty person, right?
Yeah, but did the train still run on time? That's the question.
Never did that. That's a fallacy. They
That's a
never
fallacy. He never made the trains run on time. Are you kidding
Italy,
me?
we're talking about Italy.
All these
Okay.
years, what I learned in grade school that Mussolini made the trains run on time was not
No,
true. How could my
no.
teachers lie to me like that?
Well, and the insignia of a Italian war hero is a guy walking across the field with hands in the air. So
Yeah.
you know.
No, okay. Well, 1944, U.S. Army troops entered Germany for the first time during World War II near Trier.
Yeah, this is a really cool city, Treves, and it's
Mm-hmm.
called Trier.
Mm-hmm.
Now. It's one of the oldest cities in Europe. It's over 2,000 years old. It was one of the 10 largest cities in the Roman Empire, over 100,000 people. It's in a beautiful valley. It's in the Mosel Valley on the Mosel River, and it was basically because it's right on the border with again that great place that we were just talking about
Mm-hmm.
of banking freedom. But the important thing is in the Lower Mainland, and this secondly was where the Germans took all the British prisoners of war from Dunkirk. So that's why they wanted to free this up. And this, of course, was also where they crossed the Mosel into Germany. But I've been there because it's the Mosel wine region, and oh my gosh, there are 13 German wine regions in Germany. I've been through 7 of them, and their white wines are oh man, they're just so amazing.
Oh, yeah? All right.
They're white and dry and sweet, and oh, no wonder the Germans had an issue, with drinking. Ah!
All right. Well, in 1953, Massachusetts Senator John F. Kennedy married Jacqueline Lee Bouvier in Newport, Rhode Island, arguably the best-looking first lady until the current one.
Well, yeah, and the interesting thing was he just won a major campaign as senator.
Yeah.
He beat incumbent Henry Cabot Lodge Jr., who was a Republican, and and it was 1952, and Eisenhower took the state by 208,000 votes, but
Yeah.
he beat Lodge by 70, and the rest is history.
All right. Well, we'll be back with more history because we've still got to talk about Lassie and Bonanza and oh man, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about President George W. Bush and the UN and weapons of mass destruction. Johnny Cash, German Pope. Jeez, it never ends. This day in history.
It's been a long history, buddy.
It is. We'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned. 23 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019. Finally got it right. 47 degrees outside. And looking for a high in the, somewhere in the 70s, I think, today, if I remember right. We're doing this day in history right now. In 1954, on this date, Lassie made its TV debut on CBS.
Amazing. September 12th, 54 to March 25th, 1973. I remember being at the University of Colorado in Boulder in the Commons watching the last one with about 5,000 people.
The last Lassie, huh?
It was a very successful evening because all the women were crying.
I bet.
Okay.
Yeah, Lassie's gone.
Yeah, the 5th longest running U.S. primetime television series after, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
The Simpsons, Gunsmoke, Law and Order,
Mm-hmm.
Law and Order Special Victims Units.
Yeah.
And incredibly, they produced 591 shows over 19 cities. Now, seasons, excuse me. Rogue Collie. I don't know if you knew this about Lassie. Long-coated dog was bred and used for herding sheep in Scotland. Originated in the 1800s. So it's a Scottish pup. It is.
All right.
And I remember watching this as a kid because, in 1965, they finally went to color because it was black and white.
Mm-hmm. For years, yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool because we had a color television, so we got to watch it in color. And it was it was one of those Sunday shows, everyone gathered around and watched. And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, in most places, you only had 2 or 3 choices to watch anyway. So, and television was such a deal. You watch whatever was on, whether it was good or not. So.
Yeah, we forgot to mention yesterday when Bush got on Air Force One after the attack. Yeah. On the towers. They didn't have any email or cable, or they had just had, UHF and VHF, rabbit ear television,
Yeah.
and that's how he knew what was going on from Air Force One. Of course, they fixed that. But the great thing about this, this was the development of syndication by the networks. CBS syndicated. The reason for that was such a popular TV show, people wanted reruns.
Yeah.
And so they had to set up a system which they called, first run syndication, so they could get paid for it again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You always got to, where's the money, baby? Show me the coin.
Show me the money. Well, 5 years later, after Lassie, in 1959, Bonanza premiered on NBC, and we all watched that religiously every Sunday night. I think it was on.
Sunday night before the what was his name? We got a very good show tonight. Very good show tonight.
Oh, Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan, yeah, and 431 episodes, 14 seasons, and of course there was a Western that people love, Virginia City, Nevada, bordering Lake Tahoe. And the great Lorne Greene from Canada was the father. Pernell Roberts, and of course, everyone's favorite with the 10-gallon hat, Dan Blocker.
Right, yeah.
And Michael Landon. And, we always put the coffee table in the living room in front of the TV, and we all sat on the floor and watched it. And we cheered as they wrote up, at the beginning, how they had introduced all of them.
Yeah, the map would burn away. And
Well, Dan Blocker always got Dan Blocker always got the biggest, cheer.
Yeah. Yeah, they liked him.
That was a pretty good sitcom, basically, because you always knew who the bad guy was.
That's for sure. Yeah, the bad guys wore black hats, the good guys wore white hats. So that's how you knew. All right. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of This Day in History right after this. 16 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019. 47 degrees outside. Shane Taubman, half man, half amazing. In Vancouver, British Columbia, Tommy Goloff, your morning mayor, or as I'm called on the text line, the morning moron. But that's okay. I don't mind being the morning moron. The hours aren't great, but there's no heavy lifting, so I'm all right there. So what do you think, Shane?
I'm called the Canadian racist, so I think I've got you up.
That's right. Yeah, you're up on me. So I don't know. Do we need to talk about the Emperor of Ethiopia? Does anyone really care? I'm skipping that one. Yeah. So anyway, some guy ran Ethiopia for a while. 1977, South African black student leader Stephen Biko died in police custody, triggering an international outcry. Of course, that was during the apartheid battle with Nelson Mandela and all the folks over there trying to gain a little respect for their race.
And that was a tipping point.
Yep.
And, where, the country started, not dealing with South Africa and the British upper class mining people decided maybe time to leave.
Yeah.
So they started to get out of town, literally.
We're gone, man. We're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on this date in 2000, Dutch lawmakers gave same-sex couples the right to marry and adopt children, but each of the couples still had to buy their own meals.
That's right.
Yeah, Dutch treat.
That's a Dutch treat.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
yeah.
2002, President George W. Bush told the United Nations to confront the grave and gathering danger of Saddam Hussein's Iraq or stand aside as the United States acted.
That's, it's changed history, right? I mean, wow. Yeah, I watched a thing last night about this whole thing, and, Homeland Security was the largest reorganization of your intelligence services in 50 years. And wow, 22 agencies were put under one, and to streamline it, after 9/11 and stuff like that. But
for the first time, they could share information with each other because they were all very secretly like the networks who can collar the guy first.
Very good call. Yeah, exactly.
Well, on this date in 2003, country musician Johnny Cash died at the age of 71.
That's right.
So, quite a country music legend of the time. 2005, Federal Emergency Management Agency Director Michael Brown resigned 3 days after losing his on-site command of the Hurricane Katrina relief effort. And I don't know why he would resign. It only took 5 days to get water to the Superdome. I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah.
what was wrong with him?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, in 2006, in a speech in his native Germany, Pope Benedict XVI quoted from an obscure medieval text. Oh, how'd that happen? My screen just went black. Shane, my computer just turned itself off.
Exactly. That's how important that was.
That's how important that story was. All right. Well, perhaps you can fill us in on the rest of that.
No, I didn't look it up.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm not sure what's going on here, but boy, we may be running in the dark here with no computer, so I don't know what's going on with mine. But anyway, we'll persevere on. Eventually, hopefully, this thing will restart.
It will. It's
Yeah.
a smart computer.
You think so?
Yeah. It just has to wake up like we do early in the morning.
Oh, okay. Well, if you think so, so far it's not doing much.
Well, you're not even going to be able to talk about local news then. Oh my gosh.
Well, I can to a certain extent, but
Yeah. Okay.
we'll see. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, one of the things of live TV, Well,
Yes.
the other thing that we can talk about that I don't need the computer for is we've got a Democrat debate tonight, and
Oh my God. Here we go.
10 whatever they are,
Finalists.
yeah. Somebody on the news this morning called Joe Biden the corpse. The corpse will show up tonight.
And it's interesting because it's on ABC and network.
Yeah.
And they have guidelines. So if anybody swears,
Oh yeah,
if anyone
there's
uses
no
one of those
delay.
magic words-
Yeah, there's no delay like we have here.
that's
Yeah.
right. So ABC has warned them all: do not swear because your mic will be turned off because we will get penalized. So
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're not gonna put up with any of that.
That's right.
Beep.
That's right.
All right, let's take a phone call while my computer faithfully reboots here. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Hey, the phones work.
Yeah, the phones work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see that Truth and Reporting by Ben Swan? He did a special report on 9/11 yesterday.
I don't think so.
You guys see that?
No, I don't think so.
It's pretty interesting. I guess the college up in Alaska in Anchorage did a 4-year, $300,000 study on Tower 7, and basically proved 100% that their report the government made was a complete false lie, and there's no way that Building 7 could collapse the way they said it did. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And they were actually in Washington, D.C., submitting that report to Congress or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
very interesting.
yeah, there's always been a controversy about 9/11, and there probably always will be. There's controversy about the moon landing, controversy about Kennedy's assassination, and I think that's always going to be an issue as we, every year this thing comes up, and there are people that debunk it, there are people that prove it scientifically or whatever, and I guess it's up to us to decide which we believe.
Sure, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I just think it's funny. But another thing that cracked me up is this morning I heard on the news is that Trump wants to get rid of flavored vaping or whatever, which it doesn't affect me really personally, but it's funny that like 6 people have died and they're freaking out, right? I mean, it's like 41,000 people die from secondhand smoke in the United States a year.
Mm-hmm.
and like 480,000 people die from smoking, 7 million in the world or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like 6 people. I mean, maybe vaping's worse. I don't know. Maybe it is, but I think it's funny.
Well, I think
conclusions.
I'll tell you why I think they're after it, and the reason I think they're after it is it's a simpler system for people to smoke pot with. You know, you can load a vape in a moment, and you're not wasting much pot to do it. Number one, and you don't have to carry a whole bunch of pot around with you. Number two, and it just concerns them that this will accelerate the use of marijuana in your country, and there's always something behind it. Either that, or the guys involved in the industry haven't paid off the right people yet.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Something like that.
That must be it.
but that technology, I'm sure, like anybody can like build those things. I'm sure,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a massive
they're made all over the world. Yeah. Well, he doesn't want to outlaw vaping.
Like
he suggested they outlaw the flavored material that is being used in them. That's really what he's after.
Yeah.
And there may be some truth to that.
Yeah. Well, they're concerned about the oil and the flavoring that gets in your lungs is the issue, I think. And
do they have binky vapes yet?
Probably, vapes? Yeah. We'll have some binkies out there. Shane and I got I shouldn't say this till we copyright it, but Shane and I have a vaping binky ready to go.
Yeah. We were I want to go to that dental deal next week and put up a table with a umbrella and sell shots.
Yeah, right. We'll sell the Nova. We'll sell the Novocaine before they get in the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, thanks for the call. God. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, all right.
Take care. We'll be right back. We got to take a quick break, so stay tuned. 4 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019. 46 degrees outside. Shane Matavin, half man, half amazing on the line. And Tom Eagle, your morning mayor, in the house here. And figured out what was wrong with the computer. Apparently, it helps if you plug it in, because I left it on all night, so ran out of battery. So now we're rocking and rolling, though.
All right. Can I bring up this Supreme Court decision that was made overnight?
Yeah.
That granted Trump the right to return refugees back to Mexico.
Right.
And the Supreme Court granted him the right to do that, but they didn't make a decision about it because it's moving through the lower courts. So the reason, folks, I want people to listen, because this is important. The reason this is going to pass is because the United States already has what's called the States Safe Third Country Agreement with Canada, and it was signed on December 5th, 2002. And what this treaty, it's a treaty, and it's a bilateral treaty between Canada and the United States, so that's why this will carry through. Now, the way it works is that any refugee in either country of Canada and the United States that crosses their border to the other country can be automatically returned, meaning a refugee can't go into the U.S. and then into Canada, or a refugee can't come to Canada and go in the United States. And the reason I want to bring this up is that it's sort of interesting, because it was signed by Burton Cote in Washington. And now I love this. Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of Canada, and Arthur E. Dewey, you're going to love this, Assistant Secretary of State for Population, Refugees, and Migration, United States Department of State. Now, the great thing about this is he reports to the Assistant Secretary of State for all this, and then, of course, the Assistant Secretary of State reports to the Secretary of State. That's how bloated your system is. You have deputies upon deputies under assistant secretaries to the head of the department. Yeah. So, again, this is already a treaty. The Supreme Court can't overturn this.
No. Because
it's an established treaty and established law. So,
yeah. And we'll go into more of that later in the show, because there's a lot more to this than just that.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Let's see. Commuter train ran a red light while text messaging. A computer train engineer, rather, ran a red light while text messaging on his cell phone and struck a freight train head on in Los Angeles, killing himself and 24 others. So I hope that was an important text. So it may be, hey, I'll bring home the milk and TV dinners.
Yeah, it's what you call a text for your life. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely correct. All right. That wraps it up for this portion of the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And we'll be back with local news because we've got to talk about scooters. We got to talk about Bullock. We got to talk about Paradise Valley. We got to talk about MSU. We got to talk about a llama, Shane. And we got to talk about Canadian hogs. Oh, man.
Right.
This is a full morning. So we'll be back with all of that right after the news. Stay tuned. Thank you, Dan. Welcome back, everyone. Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 6 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It is 46 degrees outside. We want to remind everybody that free dental care coming up. Free dental care. This will be next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday, September 20th. The Hayes Dental Group is giving back to the community. They're going to do fillings, extraction, or teeth cleaning for those 18 years or older or accompanied by an adult or guardian if you're under 18. And patients are encouraged to arrive early, dress appropriately for the weather, and bring chairs, blankets, water, snacks, etc., as you may be outside waiting to be seen. Registration starts at 7:30 a.m. Patients will be seen on a first-come, first-served basis. And for more information on that, give them a call at 586-2117, 586-2117, or visit the hayesdental.com website. They're located at 1226 Stone Ridge Drive. That's over behind the Holiday gas station off 19th. If you aren't familiar with Stone Ridge Drive, it's over in that area over there. And the event hours are from 8 to 5, and they will, again, do fillings, extraction, or cleaning, and you must be 18 years or older or accompany your under 18 munchkin to get this done. So, all right. So there we go. Hayes Dental Group, 7th year they've been doing this. So smile, it's free, and they want to give back to for the folks that maybe can't get dental care elsewhere. Maybe they don't have insurance or the means to afford dental care that they need, but get in there and get a cleaning or get an extraction if you need one or get a filling. So
there you go.
That will take care of the Hayes Dental Group. And again, that's next Friday at their facility there. So, well, local news, scooters. They've been doing okay, but they have received some complaints about litter, sidewalk use, and concern for people with disabilities. One of the, I feel strongly that they are truly a nuisance to pedestrians as too many people ride them like drunken sailors and show zero respect also by leaving them scattered hither and yon. Yes, even just lying in the middle of a sidewalk. So, as we probably felt, I know. Do you guys have scooters in Vancouver? You have them there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I could see where some people may, since it's not your own property, just drop it where you are and see you later. And so I don't know, but. The
thing about scooters is that it's a traditional thing because young kids start with the little small scooter they scoot around on.
Right.
Then they go to the skateboard.
Right.
So so obviously if you're not going to want to do the physical skateboard, then the best thing to do is to go through this adult scooter, right? Like, that's basically what's going on. It's a generational thing.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you don't see many adults on these scooters, do you?
I don't know. I'm not downtown enough to have ever seen one. I get here at 4:30 or whatever, and
You sneak in and
And I'm headed
yeah,
opposite of downtown when I leave. So I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I should just go down, the Main Street on my way home and see if they're out there or
No,
roaming around.
no,
So,
yeah, nobody's around at 1 o'clock when you go home, right?
I know, yeah.
You get there at 4.
Yeah. Excuse me. From our text line, 478-8298, regarding tonight's Democrat debate, what I am expecting is that rather than just thinking they're a bunch of idiots, they'll open their mouths and prove it. This one was for you and Shane by you-know-who. So.
That's good.
And also from our text line, scooters, bad idea. So
That says it all.
that pretty much says it all, doesn't it? So, yeah, the scooters are certainly, I don't know. We see people leaving scooters in the middle of sidewalks, but it's also a problem with bikes as well, that sometimes they don't tie them up to light poles or put them in the bike racks or whatever where they're supposed to. But anyway, the company was expected to perform at the lower end of the spectrum compared to similar scooter operations, but they, I guess, are becoming a little more popular than they thought. So it wasn't long before they've been in operation, I guess, 2 months, something like that, probably. So,
Mm-hmm.
But the company's performing better than expected in terms of use, the owner says. But with the popularity of the scooters, there have been some growing pains, as we might have expected, that, people don't exactly know what to do with them, what to do with them. And I guess you just drop them in the middle of the street. So why not? What's the harm? I guess. So I don't know. Anyway. Bullock is in the news. Governor Steve Bullock, presidential campaign, released a memo Wednesday seeking to reassure donors by outlining his strategies to succeed in the Iowa caucuses. Even though he's not in the debate tonight, his Montana political scientists say Bullock's focus on Iowa and capturing Biden's supporters is his only path forward, as he is barely registering in the polls, and he isn't even among the 10 candidates who qualified for the debate stage in Houston on Thursday. So,
and just to clarify something, he's missed the date to register for your Senate primary, right? I don't think he can be in the primary or part of the primary.
I think that's January. I think you have to register.
Is it January? Okay.
I think so, because Rabbi Ed in the God Squad is going to file for a state office.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. So, and he says I've got to do that by January.
Okay.
So I think that's when that all begins. So, let's see. From our text line 478-8298, take the guns first, go through due process second. President Trump. Trump refers to his child as Melania's son after announcing plan for favored e-cigarettes ban. Well, he's not banning e-cigarettes; he's banning the flavored deals, but. We got conned. His first instinct is take away our rights. He's a liberal to his New York City core. Well, as far as I know, we still got 3 branches of government, and nobody can take your rights away without all 3 of them agreeing on it. So
there you go.
It doesn't matter what Trump wants, whatever. Also, our text line regarding scooters, they don't obey the traffic laws. What a surprise there. So. Well, we'll see what happens with Governor Bullock, because he does have quite a hill to climb. And, he may focus on Iowa, and if he does anything there, Jimmy Carter captured 27% of the vote in the caucuses to become the front runner in Iowa. So it's not that it's never been done before, because
That's right.
Jimmy Carter was, of course, the unknown of all the governors. Nobody even knew where Arkansas was at the time, or whatever. Was he the governor of Arkansas?
No, that was
Georgia. He was Georgia.
Yeah,
he was the Georgia peanut
farmer from Georgia.
Yeah, that's it, from Georgia. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. I don't know. Why were people afraid of Obama if we had three branches? Remember that Sharpie pen and the executive orders they use? Well, yeah, and you've also seen that the next president came along and undid a lot of that stuff and got rid of a lot of the regulations that Obama put in place, and that's how it's done.
And wasn't it Obama who said, "I have the phone and I have the pen"?
I have a phone and a pen, and I can do whatever I want to do. So
Exactly.
I don't think I've heard Trump say anything like that. But
no, exactly.
But anyway, well, we were more afraid of Obama than we are of Bush because Obama did stupid stuff. Bush at least is doing something for the people.
And remarkably, when you look back on it, everything Obama promised to do, Trump did. I mean, reduce black unemployment, young black unemployment, reduce the poverty level, get people off. I mean, all the stuff that African Americans wanted done under Obama, Trump's done.
Yeah.
Obama never did it.
No Republican will dare go against Trump's wishes. If he wants to ban something, he will. And Democrats love to ban stuff. Well, in case you haven't been watching, the courts have knocked down a lot of stuff Trump wanted to do, and that's Obama right. Also. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and also regarding the Trump's taking the guns first and due process later, that's the red flag laws, of course, which are passed by states, not Trump. States can do whatever they want to do with gun registrations, I guess, apparently. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about taking guns from disturbed people, and they would have their day in court. Just like any person accused of a crime is arrested first. They don't try you in court and then go out and arrest you after the fact. Exactly. I mean, that's normally the way it's done. Trump does say he has a phone and a pen. He uses his pen, get ready to kiss liberty goodbye, especially if he wins re-election, and won't fear voters' wrath. Well, that may be true. So I don't know if he keeps going like he has. Hey, happy days are here again. So
yeah, I think you could look at Trump as more of a giver than a taker.
That's for sure. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Steve.
Hey, Steve.
So on this whole Trump can't run the government issue, the problem with big government is it's not just Trump. He's simply the executive. But what happens is all the agencies that fall under the executive branch, right. EPA, FDA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they
21.
They issue a rule to, and I'm talking directly about the vapor issue.
Right.
I use vaporizer. I personally know from firsthand experience it's a hell of a lot better than cigarettes. It might have its problems, yes, but as a previous caller said, only 6 people have died. But the problem with Trump going out and saying, well, we got to do something about this, is that he just has to show what his impetuity is, his direction, his agenda, and then the agencies follow through.
Right.
And that's the big problem here. Everybody's talking from the top down. Oh, Trump this. Oh, Trump that. And it's much bigger than that. We got a big government problem. The EPA can just. Oh, I want to curse, right? They can just say whatever they want, and then these businesses.
Well, they wanted to ban farm dust, if you remember that.
And Trump has already banned the the gun that was used, the repeat fire assembly.
Oh, the bumper stocks.
The bump stock, yeah. So
bump stocks, yeah.
It is entirely possible that our president, just by saying what he would like, can initiate that happening throughout the culture, because we have so many government agencies that put out laws illegally, by the way, because Congress should be the only ones that pass law, correct?
Yeah, or the Supreme Court.
We just have a big government problem. I'm really tired of everybody's saying, "Oh, it's Obama."
Well, I don't see this.
Trump.
I don't see this as a policy. It's not a policy issue, okay? Trump needs a suburban women's vote. So he sees this as a political choice because of children. I'm going to protect your children. What a great way to get suburban women to vote for you, because he wants to protect your children. So that's just my analysis, third party, looking at it.
And I can agree with that, but I am sick of my freedoms coming at the cost of somebody's vote.
Yeah.
You know, it's not illegal to smoke tobacco. It is not illegal. Everybody knows the dangers, but you can still buy it at any damn store you want. However, vaporizers, now they're telling me, well, it might be dangerous. Here comes daddy government. And you guys are telling me, well, it's for a vote. I don't care what it's for. You're removing my choice. That means you're removing my freedoms. And I'm just sick of federal government stepping into all these different issues and saying, don't worry, you free Americans. We know what's good for you. Now you have this choice.
That's very good.
Great call. Hey, thanks for
Yeah, have a great morning, guys.
All right, thanks for the call. All right.
He covered that well, did he not? See how brilliant our listeners are?
See how brilliant our listeners are? Go to the poll and vote for that guy. All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll be right back right after this. 23 minutes after the hour. It is Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 46 degrees outside. From our text line, so we should only be afraid of executive overreach when it's a Democrat. They told us Obama was going to take our guns, but when Trump says it, we shouldn't be afraid. No, you shouldn't be afraid, because if anybody's going to take your gun, it's going to be the state. Yeah, so.
There you go.
Let me just go there.
It's simple.
Yeah. And many states have already voted in red flag laws. So if you're unhappy with that, don't blame Trump. Go talk to the governor of that state that signed that law.
That's right. And we've talked about that. So 31 states have done the red flag law. And as we reported yesterday from the government website, since 94, when gun registration was imposed, 320 million background checks have taken place. So this is all law in your country. They're just, it's all misdirection to, I don't know why. It's a political misdirection.
Yep. Well, over in Paradise Valley, we reported sometime back they were thinking about having a tire dump over there, but the Montana Department of Environmental Quality has closed the application from Mike Atkins for the tire monofill facility on his property near Prey. After Atkins told the agency he wouldn't pay a $50,000 deposit for an environmental review for the project. And I don't blame him. Hey, you're going to bury some tires. What could go wrong?
Well, and the other problem they have with this tire issue, remember that tax that you paid to get tires? And that tax is supposed to get rid
supposed to get rid of them,
Yeah. Well, they use that to go in the black hole.
Right.
So
yeah.
When a guy like this comes along and wants to set something up like this, they have to provide him funding from that tax money you pay.
Right.
That's what's going on here.
Why not, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want us to really get rid of the tires, do you? Well, I love the guy. Was back in the 80s, wasn't it? They took used tires and made them in sandals. Remember that?
Yeah. All right. From our text line, it just never ends. Our president wants to tell you what's good and bad for you. Ban vaping flavors because 6 people died. Well, I think there's more than 6 died. I think it's quite a few more than that. But anyway, wait till he learns how many die from cigarettes. Well, I think we know that already. But until Congress does a amendment to ban cigarettes entirely, I don't think that's going to happen. So cigarettes and booze, absolutely. I don't feel free with a liberal narcissist in the White House. Well, guess what? He's going to be there till 2020. So get used to it.
Yeah, I'll just make this observation. I think that this thing about vapor and what's going on, I think the CDC provided a report to your president. It's like a virus, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're looking at it like polio. Because the problem with these attacks for young people is they end up in the hospital on a ventilator
Right.
And so I think that they showed him a chart of, if this thing starts expanding at this rate,
Mm-hmm.
this is how big this could grow as a health problem. And no, and that's the big challenge. How do you save hundreds of millions of dollars being spent on young kids in hospitals on ventilators?
Well, yeah, and as we said, some of this is due to counterfeit
That's right.
vaping as well. They say the counterfeit stuff. And also, too, that a lot of the young smokers don't realize that these things do contain nicotine. They're not nicotine free like the original vaping was. It was just, air, moist air.
That's correct.
Yeah. But in this case, we're a little, we're into nicotine, which is addictive and could turn smokers that start vaping onto regular cigarettes. And
it's like fentanyl. The Chinese are killing your country because of fentanyl. And the Chinese are not good people. I mean, they look at something like this and they go, "Oh, this could be another way for us to attack Americans."
Right. Sure. Yeah.
So I think there's all kinds of serious concerns they don't want to talk about because for political reasons it doesn't look good. But we'll see.
Yeah. From our text line, 478-8298, remember when Trump signs the executive order to ban your e-cigs, we true conservatives warned you he is worse than Obama with executive orders. Well, if the worst thing he's going to do is ban cigarettes, then I'm sorry, I don't need that. From our text line, 478-8298, chew up the tires and add to the asphalt. In a lot of cases, that's done in some areas of the country.
That's right. They are. That's right.
Yeah. The only reason why there is a push to ban vaping is because they have figured out a way to they have figured out a way to tax and regulate it. I think he may mean not, but anyway.
I think that's where it's going. They want to tax it. You're right. Good call.
Yeah. Using Shane's logic, save money on ventilators. We should ban cigarettes. That is a liberal thinking. There you go, Shane. All right. We'll be back right after these important words. The bottom of the hour, we got Montana State News coming up, Fox News, Brooke Foster Weather, Culligan Water, Cashman Nursery, and Shane and Tom right after this. Stay tuned. 25 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 46 degrees outside. Shane Montalban, half man, half amazing on the line with me. And, we're talking about the vaping situation, and after a meeting with President Trump and FDA Commissioner Norman Sharpless on Wednesday, Health and Human Services Director Alex Czar announced that the FDA would soon issue regulation that would force flavored e-cigarette products off the shelves, not e-cigarettes, flavored e-cigarette products. The announcement doesn't signal a full ban just yet, but it does come precisely a year after the FDA declared teenage e-cigarette use as an epidemic. We intend to clear the market of flavored e-cigarettes and that the FDA is finalizing plans to do so. 6 people have been reported dead from a lung disease tied to vaping, and more than 450 possible cases have been reported in 33 states. Until a cause is found, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have warned people against vaping altogether. So it's not Trump. So
that's right. And as we've spoken to this in other issues before, males mature at 16 physically, females at 21. So your lungs are developing at this age if you start utilizing these things. It's not good for your body. It's like tobacco. It's like tobacco and alcohol. Kids should just say no.
Sure. Yeah. So you're saying big tobacco got to Trump and wants their competition banned and remove our choices and freedom. Sounds about right. Well, you don't have the freedom to LSD. You don't have the freedom to heroin. You do, right. I guess, if you want to screw up your body like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, I think common sense, it doesn't have anything to do with Trump, but it's common sense of, these things are bad for you. So, are all these Trump haters still willing to accept responsibility when the next 13-year-old kid dies?
Wow.
Isn't moist air in your lungs pneumonia? No, that's the result of pneumonia, which is caused by bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other situations that
Correct.
inflame your lung sacs to fill with fluid.
Correct. Yes,
So,
that's right.
yeah.
Good call, Eagle Man. You got it.
Well, I know a little something, you know.
Yeah.
Trump has gotten more gun control than Obama could dream. Slippery slope. We got conned. Well, what kind of gun control are you talking about that stopped any of the mass shootings here lately? So please help me out. You know, I mean, wasn't there a shooting in Dayton and another one in Ohio and wherever else, or El Paso rather? Yeah, come on. You know, I don't recall any gun control that Obama's passed other than the bump stocks.
The media is about specific outrage. Like, last week we talked about how many people die in hospitals because of diseases they pick up. It's like 90,000 people a year die. And then you have this whole issue about these illegal immigrants or unregistered migrants or whatever you want, and the murders they've committed in your country. And it's selective outrage. Like, it's pretty strange. Yeah. It's okay for people that come to your country illegally, apparently, and can kill someone, and you don't want to give them up to the federal government. But
Sure.
other things become a bigger outrage. It's it's pretty strange, yeah. Which tells you the ability for the media and social networking to drive an issue, right?
Yeah. Yeah, males may physically mature at 16, but mentally 30 maybe. I would agree with that. That I was totally clueless until I was at least 30, if not older.
Nah, for you it was you went into the military, so
well, maybe, but
someone puts a gun in your hand and says go shoot somebody. You mature mentally pretty quick.
Well, maybe.
I think maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you say so. Well,
I have to ask you a question. I don't do this very often, but were you any good at throwing grenades?
One of the things that we tried to do, we tried to throw grenades as high as we could so they would explode in the air, and they won't do that. Well, I mean, we couldn't throw them high enough, I should say.
Oh, you could really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, they would always hit the ground and then explode. So, so you got I don't know, you got 4 or 5 seconds or something like that before they.
Yeah.
From the time you pull the pin and flip the thing.
The clicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did have fun blowing stuff up. They taught us how to do demo stuff. And they'd give us these quarter pounds of C4 and whatever. Yeah. And you can light C4 on fire and heat your water in your helmet with C4 if you want to do that. So that's what we did too
to make coffee. Of course.
Yeah, if you're out in the jungle and you want to, boil some leaves or something, or boil a snake, you can do that.
or to warm your meals to go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, blowing up stuff was really fun. You put the things in there and wire it up and go back behind a tree and twist the handle and boom, stuff goes bang.
You didn't mentally mature at 19. Okay,
no, I was not even close. So I was blowing stuff up and yeah. Well, can I throw a grenade over there just in case? And I thought I heard something. No. Yeah, I was probably the worst soldier ever, but
I don't believe that for a moment. But we're grateful for your service.
I know. From our text line, I'm laughing. If Obama said he wanted e-cigarettes banned, you would be all over him. Why would I be all over him? I'm a advocate of non-smoking. Government interfering. I don't care if government interferes with smoking. I hope that I'm upset they don't interfere with the marijuana sales.
That's right.
That's smoking, certainly.
It's a health issue, right? So, I mean,
Trump overreacts to 6 deaths and you defend him. Well, no, actually, the CDC is the one that's overreacting.
That's correct.
He can really do no wrong. Wow. Well, he's not involved in this. What are you talking about? I mean, jeez. Get over it,
exactly. Well, it's the news cycle, so it shows you that these people are, paying attention. to the news cycle, and this is what's been going for 36 hours, right?
Yeah. What the hell happened to children in cages? That's what I want to know. What's the deal there? How come we aren't down there screaming about kids in cages still? We're vaping now. The kids in the cages getting vaping. Are they getting vaping materials down there? I mean, come on. Shouldn't we be down there giving them vaping materials so that they can sit back and have a few puffs and enjoy life in the cage?
Yes, well, they're playing with their new toys.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, we got to take a break. I got to think about this vaping. We'll be right back right after this. Hang on. 15 minutes for the top of the hour, Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 47 degrees outside. Shane Matobin, half man, half amazing. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor, and this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. We are only, Shane, 10 downloads away from 1,500 downloads, 10 away. So, please, download.
With how many shows?
228.
There you go, buddy. How cool is that?
All right. Fox News says from our text line, in an effort to curb teen vaping, President Trump on Wednesday said his administration is looking to ban all non-tobacco flavored e-cigarette products. And I think we just said that.
Yeah,
pretty sure we just said that they're gonna ban the flavored e-cigarette products, and the CDC goes along with that, and not raising the age but banning them sure seems like overreach to me. Well, the age of, I think, vaping is still 18 or more, or 18 or
That's
over,
right.
And so the fact that kids have been tricked into believing that they're like the other cigarettes with the, just the air or the whatever. These have nicotine in them and are addictive. And they say that in the ads on TV, that they are, and nicotine is an addictive material. So let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you are on the air. What's up?
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Jerry. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, sir. You Swiss Army knives are really into it today.
We're into it today, aren't we? Yeah.
Got a couple of sharp blades you are. When this reports first came out, there was reports that the people who were taken ill or suffered death, there were other ingredients involved.
Right.
There was a couple of reports that, THC was involved. So I'm just wondering if some of these folks aren't using this as a vehicle to ingest other things,
Yeah, that was one of the things. They were putting THC oil in the mixture, and that oil was getting into the lungs and causing a lot of problems. So they just didn't realize it, because that's what tobacco puts in is tar, products.
But that's the biggest product in Canada right now is the THC oil that you'd smoke in a vapor. That's with regards to the legalization of marijuana in our country. That's the biggest. That's the most popular.
Right. Well, I was waiting for any kind of an autopsy report on any of these victims, but I haven't heard anything. Have you?
Have not. Yeah, have not.
No, I just wonder. What the details are. And of course, the devil is in the details.
Well, as I said, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, has advised people not to use any vaping products at all.
Well, which it's still a vehicle for nicotine, and nicotine is the most addictive subject there is.
But in this case, there's no tar in it, and that's what causes cancer. So I know. I'm just mentioning that.
But
I know
the addiction to nicotine. There's no substitute for it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's nothing. You can put the patch on all day long, but unless you want to stop,
right,
you're not stopping.
Yeah, I read in a medical journal several years ago that it's one of the most, it's the hardest substance to break away from, even harder than heroin or some of the other, opioids, opium or morphine if you're addicted to that.
Right. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah. It's a difficult topic. and I understand people's concern about their freedoms being taken away, but they won't take away cigarettes or liquor because there's a tax stamp on it, and they're getting revenue from that. So they'll never, ever take that away. And DWIs, they cause a lot of deaths, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah. It's at 52,000 a year.
Right. And marijuana smokers seem to be going way too slow when they're driving. But
that's well. That and the Cheetos on the seat, keep them, keep them occupied.
Half a dozen Twinkie wrappers on the floor, too.
I mean, they've increased the drive-through business exponentially.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks very much.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Right,
thanks for listening. Appreciate it. All right. From our text line. Oh, geez. I just killed our text line. Anyway, it was... or CBD oil is illegal, and in Montana, CBD hemp oil is legal in Montana. If the CBD is hemp delivered, yes, it's legal in Montana. Most of the CBD apparently doesn't have the THC or whatever that gets you high. It's medicinal for whatever reason. Whether it works or not, it's a whole nother story. But let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller. Whoops. Nope, not there. All right, well, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute and a half, 90 seconds. Hang on. It's, 7 minutes before the top of the hour, Shane. The morning's going quick. Yeah, we're just blasting along here.
So I'd like to make a mention, because the market opened up half an hour ago, and with regards to my black swan comment a couple of years ago about the sell-off, I want people to understand I'm not talking necessarily about a sell-off by Americans, but around the world because of the dollar. And so one of my markers came up today, and the euro dropped under $1.10. It's back over $1.10, but it dropped under $1.10. And the result of that, of course, you see the 10-year holding at 169, but the 30-year bond in the U.S. is now at 2.22%, which means U.S. bonds, 30-year bonds are going down in price because the interest is going up, and people are buying them. So where's that money coming from? Offshore, money back home to U.S. There you go. Commodities are running well. Crude oil at $54.50. Now that came off because I think it had a lot to do with the firing at the White House, because it was anyway, we could get into that in a longer conversation. But the Dow's down 11, S&P is up 3, NASDAQ up 31. So other than Europe, which is down on most markets, Asia's trying to hold in there because they still think an early resolution to China is coming. It isn't, folks. Hold on to your seat.
All right. Regarding your stream, the Bozeman stations for Town Square are to always be loss leaders for corporate tax reasons, as long as XL Country remains a bright spot and no other station succeeds. The stream will remain unfixed unless the advertisers realize their digital marketing ads are not being heard. Then and only then will the stream magically be fixed. The privilege is reserved for XL digital clients. Well, keep in mind that all stations are experiencing the same problem with the stream that we are, including XL Country. So it's not us only. It's XL Country, it's KISS, it's the Moose, and KPRK, of course. We simulcast with them, and K-Sky also. Are all stations are having the same streaming issue. So
okay, well, I just want you to know I always have it on to listen, and it's working fine for me now, so I'm getting it.
Is it? Okay. All right. Well, they have determined the reason, I think, is that we're overdoing the system, and they are making arrangements to up our speed or up our whatever they do to do that.
That's because of all of our downloads, Tom.
That's right. Download the show if you. Oh, let's see. From our
pork. You wanted to talk about pork. Don't forget pork.
Pork. Yeah.
last block you wanted to say something about pork. You said.
Well, I was gonna, well, we can certainly talk about that. I was going to give us a little more time on that.
Oh, okay. Well,
but,
that's a teaser.
well, yeah, let's do that in the next hour because I want to beat up on Canadian pork here quite a bit. So.
Yeah, and I want to tell people about the different cuts of bacon.
Well, okay, yeah, because there's Canadian bacon, and we don't know what that is. The real reason to ban vaping, and that's the ultimate goal, is there is no tax on it. Follow the dollars. There's no tax on it. I thought there was a tax on all tobacco products, but maybe not. Anyway, been a while since I bought tobacco products, so I don't know if that's right. Too bad AOC isn't in the debate tonight. She could more fully explain the three chambers of government, the president, House, and Senate. Demographics alone got her elected, and the Democrats have the audacity to call Trump stupid. Give us a break.
Exactly.
Right, there you are. Oh, boy, I don't know. And don't forget our poll question of the day, which kind of fits right in with what we're talking about today. How would you rate the intelligence of KMMS listeners? How would you rate our intelligence? So we'll have to see. Right now, 50% think they're pretty smart, better than most. 16% indubitably they are impeccably intelligent. 16% think they're rock dumb but still happy. And 11% think all of the above, and another 5% have other answers, same as their host. So there you are. So I don't know what that means, but let's take a phone call here real quick, then we got to go. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to comment on one of your last callers about, well, a lot of opinion apparently about vaping and taxation, alcohol taxation, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
People tend to forget that we amended the Constitution twice over alcohol.
We did.
That's right.
And the only thing that it did was spur the rapid growth of organized crime, bootlegging, black market goods, everything else. So for people to be naive enough to think it's all about taxation, now, I'm not naive enough not to think there is something with that, but I'm always complaining, as a nation, we've failed to learn from our history. And if there's one thing we have learned is that prohibition on tobacco products, alcohol products, and if it goes that far on vaping, it's only going to create a black market. And we're not going to stop this problem. And if people believe that they have a right to vape, then they're going to vape. It doesn't matter how they get it. It's just like doing illegal drugs. They have a dependency. They want to do it. They're going to find it.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that it's 100% about taxation. So that's my little 2 cents of it. But people need to remember that we amended our Constitution of this United States twice over alcohol.
We did. You're right. Yep. Okay.
So to do it again is foolish.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. All right. Yeah, if you want more of something, subsidize it. If you want less of something, tax it.
That's right.
It's very simple. So.
Yep. That's exactly correct.
Piece of cake. All right, that wraps up the second hour of the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, and thank you very much for joining us, spending your morning with us, and we really appreciate that. Hey, don't forget, all of our shows are online at KMMSAM.com. Just click on Tom and Shane's podcast. It'll give you a link to get over there. We're only 10 downloads away from 1,500 downloads of our shows, so wow, that's pretty impressive. And there's also a link on our site there where you can have the things sent directly to your phone or wherever. And,
that's right. It's fabulous.
Get that set up, and you'll never miss a show. We usually have them up at least by 10:30 each morning, unless I've got some conflicting thing I got to do. But normally we get them up quick. We'll be back right after this. Thank you, Dan. Welcome back, everyone. It's 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, and Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 48 degrees outside. Shane Taubman on the line. Tom Eagle up your morning mayor. And from our text line, 480,000 people die from tobacco and no bans. Well, that's pretty stupid. I mean, that comment is dumb.
It is, yeah.
6 people die from vaping, no tobacco, but there is nicotine. And Trump administration wants to ban it. No, they don't want to ban it. They want to ban flavored products, not vaping, not cigarettes, not tobacco, not nicotine. No regulation, no age limits, just ban it. Well, there is regulation and there are age limits. So call it common sense. Seems like how liberals want to ban guns because of one kook and a gun. Wake up, Republicans. We have a Trojan horse liberal in the White House. Well, so what? If we do, he's there till 2020 and beyond. So
exactly.
Get used to it. Scariest phrase, we're from the government, we're here to help. Ronald Reagan, we're going to protect you from yourself. Donald Trump, yeah, of course. Let's see. Poll question says the majority of listeners don't contribute. I would suggest the majority are smarter than average. Unfortunately, since I'm contributing, I do not fall in the smart category.
Ah, that's very good.
I would suggest that the flavors and other ingredients, including nicotine, are contributing to the pulmonary problems with vaping. How were these ingredients processed? Water vapor in and of itself isn't harmful. And the people who died were vaping off the street products, not over-the-counter products.
Mm-hmm.
So that clears up our text line for the moment. So, hey, don't forget we've got an app chat line too. And if you're on your smartphone, down on the bottom across the your screen are some little symbols there. And right next to the phone call one is the app chat. All you have to do is hit that and send us a message directly. You don't have to go over and dial the text line and all the other stuff. So you can do it real easy from our app chat. So just pop it in there and whatever you got to say. Yeah. Nothing to it.
Not hard. Nothing to it.
It's not hard at all. Well, let's see. A couple things we want to talk about that are local because we're supposed to do local stuff on this station.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, Montana, MSU wants to create a common application for all universities. So why they haven't done this before, I don't know, but apparently they're moving forward. They want one application to streamline admissions for all colleges and universities in the state. So there they go. So modeled after the nationwide common application, not Common Core application, I hope. A common application program. The portal will allow prospective students to apply to any Montana institution in one fell swoop. Wow.
Wow, how cool is that?
I'm ready. I'm down with that. Wow.
Okay. And you know on that site there'll be a place to click for government loans.
Of course. Yeah. We'll do the whole thing there. So let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Calling on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Much ado about vape.
Okay.
Well, we've amended the Constitution twice, but what the caller didn't remark about was that we fought our first great civil war over alcohol, which was
that's right, the Whiskey Rebellion in 1795. Washington actually had to call out the troops because we talked about this. Hamilton, the first Secretary of the Treasury, was the guy that instituted tariffs, and he wanted a tariff on corn. Mm-hmm. And the farmers of Arkansas and Kentucky and the Appalachians were using the corn to make corn whiskey. Right. Can't do that.
Shane, you're a cesspool of information.
It also, by the way, it resulted in the first depression in your country.
Yeah. Well, that was a civil war, and the fact is that are we going to have the vaping rebellion?
Yeah.
No. I mean, here's the deal. You don't have the right to demand health care if your lungs fill up from black market THC, vitamin E. They use vitamin E as the filler in there, and then when it solidifies inside your lungs, it's a fat. Yeah. And you can't get rid of it. So.
Well, we want to talk about, we teased about talking about pork, back in the 1920s, trichinosis was a problem because of the slaughterhouses, and it caused a big issue. And that was the indoctrination of the CDC because of that. And I think that the CDC has picked up on something in these flavored vapor choices for people. They're not coming out specifically with it because they got to do studies. But I just, from the sound of it, having read about it, there's something wrong, something major.
They found that the illegal ones, the ones that people are buying out the back of cars, are not
safe. They're not clean. Yeah, they may be dirty, right?
Yeah.
Well, trichinosis is inherent to pork. I mean, you forget that's why the Jews and the Muslims both have forbidden or forbade pork, is because of trichinosis.
Well, that and the primary thing is it's a scavenger and eats everything. So, it was an evil animal they looked upon.
Yeah.
Because pigs carry trichinosis.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
that's why it's got to be well cooked. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's why you have to well cook pork. Yeah.
That's right.
That's why it was kosher.
That's why I love spam.
Oh, God, here we go. And hot dogs.
And hot dogs.
Tell us about spam in the jungle, Tom.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
That's it, man. Hey, thanks for the call, Vinny. Appreciate it.
All right.
Take care. All right. Let's see. From our text line, hey, Tom, just had a thought about how the Democrats could save taxpayer dollars. They don't even know the three branches of government, so it would not be a problem to eliminate the legislative branch because the liberal judges legislate the bench anyway. What do you think? It would save money. Steve-O, yeah, I would go along with that. Let's get rid of those lawyers. Do we really need judges for common sense decisions? I mean, come on.
Well, what about the lawyers?
Those too. I mean, come on. When I read Orwell's 1984, I wondered how such a system could happen. I think I know. The people beg for it. Yeah, you may be right on that. The bottom line with prohibition and others is you can't legislate morality.
So we're told.
Yes, organized crime reaped the dollars from prohibition. The reversal gave the dollars back to the government in tax revenue. Mm-hmm. And banning flavors sure seems liberal, especially without studies and limited known information. Meanwhile, tobacco is time proven to kill, smells swampy. Well, everybody knows about tobacco, but not everybody knows about vaping. So.
That's right, yeah.
That's one of the big differences. You shouldn't eat animals that you can live with their parts in your body. There you go. So, yeah, we use pig arteries to replace arteries in the heart and some other places of the body, and I don't know. Just wait for it. Common sense, ban on flavors. Yeah. So... Well, there will be a ban on flavors. So if they're dangerous, why not? If they're proven dangerous, why not?
Well, there's 21 flavors to spam now. Why don't they check it out?
Well, yeah. I mean, that bacon flavored spam's pretty damn good.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, trichinosis or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's already processed.
And I know I'll take my chances.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, let's take a short break here. We're only going to be out for 2 minutes, so we'll be right back with more right after these important words. Stay tuned. 18 minutes after the hour of 8 a.m. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019. 48 degrees outside. Just kind of staying right there, Shane. We're looking for a high of around 67 or something like that in the area today. And well, we seem to be talking about vaping this morning, whether we want to or not. So let's go back to the text line. Why can't they raise the vaping age like alcohol to 21? Alcohol kills more kids, by the way, and I would agree with that. That the 18-year-old kids will buy it for the 16-year-old kids. So and then the 16-year-olds will share it with the 14-year-olds. So. There you kind of are stuck in the middle with me. Next up, banning on menthol cigarettes. Well, I used to smoke menthol cigarettes, and that's a little more strict addiction because you're addicted to menthol and nicotine. So it's a little tough to break that habit.
That's a double whammy.
A double whammy. I don't like the government telling me what I can and can't do. Individual liberty and personal responsibility is better than bans. And, well, I think for the most part, most of us do use common sense when it comes to things that harm us. Most of us, I think, I would hope that probably only 90% or less of the people listening to us use heroin, whatever. But anyway, let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
This is Clint.
Hey.
Good morning, good sir.
Good morning there, Shane. Well, I want to know how the weather is in Vancouver.
Let me look out my window here.
Take a look.
Overcast, cold, and rainy. So it's coming your way. More's coming your way.
Oh. Well, my son just left Everett this morning, and he's headed here, so I was just kind of curious. Anyway, you're talking about this vaping, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want to say about it. Anybody that goes and buys these things should read the directions. Now, if they've been to school at all and know what's good and bad, they ought to understand that what they're about to take into their lungs probably isn't very good for them. So I'm saying this. I don't think that the president or anybody else should say, they can say it's bad for you. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as changing it, there's no sense trying to change it because it'll wind up in a jillion courts and tie up our court system. So I'm saying if the people are so stupid that they can't read or haven't been to school to be able to read what it says on these vaping things, then just let them do it and kill themselves if that's what they want. What the hell's the matter with the people to take anything into their lungs like that? That's an artificial deal, and I smoked for 50 years. Well, I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess, because it's never bothered me. Never bothered my lungs or nothing. But anyway...
Well, the thing about being free, as I say constantly, you have choice. Good choices, good consequences. Bad choices, bad consequences.
That's right. And they're teenagers, They think they know everything when they become teens. The parents are dumber than hell, when the kid reaches about 13 or 14, you don't know nothing anymore. And they know it all. But then after they get up and go into college, well, we got to do what the other kids are doing. God, I wonder how that is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they try it. Oh, it sure tastes good.
Yeah.
But they forget about reading the labels, what it says about them. And that's what I got to say today.
All right there, buddy.
Tom,
yes, sir?
This world is screwed up compared to when I was growing up. My God.
Well, me too.
God,
Come on.
Our biggest thing was to see if we could get a 6-pack of beer out of the bar sometimes,
Yeah.
We'd have somebody get it for us. We might go out and have a beer somewhere and take our girlfriends out and neck with them a while, and they'd have beer too,
That would be it. Yep.
We had a good time, and it was clean and fun.
Well, that's the bad news. The innocence of America is gone.
Me and Dave Osterman were talking the other day in town, and Dave and I, we were talking about Bozeman. And by the way, he's one of the 8 highest taxpayers in the Gallatin County, Dave is.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about Bozeman.
Yeah. How
it's growing and how much water we have. We don't have enough water, evidently. The city needs more water.
That's what Jeff Krause was talking about the other day, that they want to put this drought charge on top of you so that, we're not going to have the water. So you're not going to, you're only going to be able to water Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something like that. But they don't want the utility to go under. So we'll just charge you for water you're not getting.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we talked about that, and we thought, we're getting so. I don't know about you, Tom. You wasn't raised here, but I was. I was born in Bozeman in 1934, and I've watched it go from 7,000 people to way over. It's about 70,000 now with the college, right close to that.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little high, but I don't think so. It's about 115 or 20,000 in the county.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying it's it's something. I noticed that all this nice, beautiful farmland that used to grow crops and make 70, 80, 100 bushel better are all being covered with houses on the Huffine Lane. You know, and in Bear Canyon, and it's all becoming houses. You know, and they're moving up into the timber and stuff like that. You know, and these are environmental people, a lot of them. And then they bitch about the environment and one thing and another. But anyway, I'm just saying, I hate to say this, I detest to go to Bozeman. Unless I absolutely have to buy groceries and one thing and another. I really don't like to go into town. The traffic is terrific. We don't have the roads or anything to cope with it. We're way behind as far as planning. There's no planners. I don't know what the hell planning boards are thinking about now.
I don't know either. We're going to have Don Seifert's going to be in tomorrow with the county planning. So we're going to talk about that at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So if you're around,
well, I will call. I know, I like Don. He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's the best damn commissioner there.
Well, he certainly has some good ideas, I think, and some good points of view, certainly.
Well, he sure does. He's come out and looked at my problem. You ought to see my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your problem doing out there, anyway?
Well, I can't get down the damn road because they got these great big Volvo trucks in the middle of the road.
Well,
my renters can't get into their places where they got to sleep and eat, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's ruts in the out there that's 2 foot deep. You can't take a car over them. My little road is finally still holding up, but you ought to see it. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus.
Well,
but that's another story. I don't.
Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to the vaping. Yeah. If people are so stupid they can't read what's on the labels of these vaping machines, you know, let them kill themselves. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
If them kids are that stupid. If they're stupid, they haven't been taught anything in the schools, right?
Well, I would think not.
Yeah, okay. I've said it all. I'll see you later.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye.
All right. Take care. All right. Well, let's see. The text line just keeps lining up here. What will the lesbian, gay, and transgendered community do if the leftist socialist Democrats win in 2020 and they are found to be undesirables and are sterilized or worse? That's what happened in Nazi Germany. So let's see. Freedom means I have freedom to smoke, drink, or vape what I want. Government can warn me, but it's my choice. Tom, did you smoke the Cools in C rations with the brothers? Who put the Cools out on my floor? Who put the Cools out on my floor? No, I was a Salem smoker, quite honestly, but a lot of the brothers did like Cools.
Yeah,
that was a smoke of choice, I think, at that time of life. And why don't we wait to find out exactly what ingredient these people were vaping before we jump over the cliff? Well, that's good advice, I think. The autopsies and things, I think, are going to start coming in, and some of the diagnosis of the 450 other cases that are going on. So maybe we'll find out. So let's take another phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Calling on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, gentlemen, it's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Just a side note before I go into my tirade.
Yeah.
You guys should think about having as bumper music my old band, the Clintons. I probably will ruin their reputations by coming out as conservative, but that's how it goes.
Okay.
So I was watching a special about prohibition, and you know there was obviously 67% of the country, since it became a constitutional amendment to ban drinking in the country, 67% of the country thought that was a really good idea, and they passed the 18th Amendment, and, you know, the whole country was behind it. We got to do something about this drinking problem.
Right.
And basically 10 years later, only 10 short years, which, if you've lived any bit, that's a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
The entire country realized that was a mistake. And the reason was not because of all this law breaking and speakeasies and things like that. It was because they realized that they had just criminalized a large portion of our population, and that outlawing something was not going to change human behavior. That
right.
people are people, and you're not going to be able to outlaw how people act. They're going to find a way.
Gotta go.
And,
hey, thanks very much, though. All right, I'm up against the clock. Sorry, but I gotta go. We'll be right back. 24 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019. 49 degrees outside. Final half hour of the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. Shane and Tobin doing his part from Vancouver, British Columbia. Completely different country.
Okay, so tell me what problem you have with Canadian pork.
Well, I have a major problem with Canadian pork because wildlife officials say feral hogs from Canada are encroaching on Montana's northern border, Shane. So you need to get down there and get these hogs under control because they are... They're rototillers that root for food and wallow in farms and fields and forests, leaving the terrain unrecognizable, Shane. These are your Canadian hogs are doing this to America, and we're sick of it. We're a little tired of it. And various state groups are working on prevention and management measures, and they also spread disease impacting livestock and other animals. So thanks again, another Canadian import that we don't need.
Right, and the wild boars from Texas to the Appalachians, right? They're not an issue.
They're not an issue. They're American boars.
Anyway, the Canadian pork industry is relative here. It's over a $3 billion industry and represents.
Well, why aren't they down here harvesting these babies?
Because they're wild.
Well, so what? What? Why? Hey, we eat deer. They're wild. We eat elk. They're wild. What's the problem?
Okay, you're taking away from my fun. I just want everyone to know that pork is one of these great things. There's 5,000 years of pig husbandry to back it up. And it's the most consumed meat or protein in the world. And the other thing that's really great about it is that, bacon, as you know it, first appeared in a cookbook, The Virginia Housewife, in 1824.
Wow.
So it's pretty important. And now this is my big deal because I want to tell everyone. So these are the types of pork that everyone enjoys. Side bacon or steaky pork comes from the pork belly.
Yep.
Back bacon contains meat from the loin in the middle of the back of the pig. Collar bacon is taken from the back of the pig near the head. Cottage bacon is made from the lean meat from a boneless pork shoulder. And jowl bacon is cured smoke from pork cheeks. Ooh. There you go.
TMI.
I know, but that's my job. That's my job.
Yes, it is. All right. Phone lines are backing up. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on the air. What's up?
Would that be me, Thomas?
That would be you. Please don't give me any more bacon info.
Talk about the pork infestation in your northern part.
That's right.
They're all illegal immigrants. I'll concede that. Okay, none of them have a passport.
From our text line, we need to build a wall to keep Canada hogs out and make Canada pay for it.
Ed, just follow the law. It says don't eat the filters.
That's right. All right.
I'm gonna pin some of this on the Dems. They've been telling these kids the world's gonna end in 10 years. And what do the kids say?
Yeah.
Pass that bowl of Tide Balls.
That's right.
Which I notice is still for sale.
Yeah, they are. Still there.
And They're okay though. There's only 750 different chemicals in a Tide ball, and when they hit that number, they quit looking.
Yeah.
I mean, 750. No wonder they get your clothes so clean, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, the world's going to end in 10 years. Oh, I'll try anything.
I was going to say, what?
I mean, why miss out on something? I'm going to be gone in 10 years. What the hell?
Well, I'm convinced that's why Town Square Media hadn't hired a replacement for us. It's only 10 years, so what the hell?
There you go.
We'll just let them go away on the air.
Hey, we can do the show from a wheelchair.
Or Yellowstone will blow up before that, so we're good either way.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another scare tactic.
Yeah, right.
Yellowstone's gonna blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to lay it on them.
Yeah.
Like I said, if there's only 10 years left, I'd probably try anything.
I was gonna say, how can you charge $350,000 for a home next to an active volcano, or possible active volcano?
Yeah, it does seem a little funny there.
Yeah, we should. This should, earthquakes and Yellowstone blowing should put housing in the dumper.
Yeah, and insurance companies should make more money.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
But
Do we have-
you're forgetting liberals are buying this property because they're not survivalists.
Yeah.
They,
Right.
they want to be there when it goes, so
Yeah.
they're gone. They don't want to survive afterwards.
Yeah.
Right, they're neat. I call them neo-paleos.
There you go, buddy. Good.
Yeah.
Find a cave and hang out and sell your house, give it to the give the money to the homeless, and
Yeah.
there you
With
go.
your vapor.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
vape in your cave. Save the
Yeah,
world.
go vape in your cave.
We could do that. Yeah. All right, man. Thank
Have a good one, boy.
Thank you much. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after Ford dealers and Babble. What more could you want to know than those two things? It's 15 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019, 50 degrees outside. We're getting a little warmer, Shane, getting up there towards our high. Let's see. From our text line, I vape Tide Pods. Liberals' first reaction is to ban, not study, and learn more. Limit our freedoms. Maybe the texture is right. Maybe Trump is a New York liberal. We should have voted for Cruz. Regarding flavored vaping, Baskin Robbins is screwed. 31 flavors aren't going to work for Baskin Robbins. Yes.
We want people to take notice. We're very supportive of our sponsor.
All right.
We just had a sponsor was advertising vaping, and so we're defending their right to do so.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we the people need to investigate Nadler. Gerald Nadler, of course, is the head of the Judicial Committee and is. They're voting on whether or not to bring impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump to the floor of the House.
I know. I can't wait to watch this. This is going to be good.
That will be good.
Chubby Chicken, I call him.
Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Tom. Tell Clint, please refrain from taking the Lord's name in vain. I don't remember Clint saying anything off any of the words we can't say on radio, but...
No, I don't. No, I don't.
So I'm not sure what word we're talking about there, but wonder if your advertisers know you badmouth their paid ads. I wonder if they do know that. Well, they're national ads. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's take a phone call. See what the callers have to say. Caller, you are on the air. What's going on? Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
Tom.
Go for it.
Oh, it's Kevin.
Yeah, go for it, Kevin.
Hey, you want to see regulation? You wait and see if they elect Elizabeth Warren, and then you see some regulation come on into this country.
Yeah.
Well, and as far as the global warming, I'm taking my cues from former President Obama. He just bought a house on the water, so I think everything's going to be okay now.
I think so.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard, 15 million. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the inside info on this.
Yeah,
right. So who buys a $15 million second or third home on the water if they think it's going to be underwater in 2 years or 12 years or whatever? So all right, I'm just going on Obama's recommendation.
All right.
Yeah, he has 3 homes, one in Chicago, one in Alexander, Virginia, outside of Washington, and now on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah,
Happy are they.
And one in Hawaii, too. Doesn't he have one in Hawaii?
No, he never bought the house in Hawaii. Too much publicity.
Oh, okay.
So that'll come next year, but it's good to be a progressive, isn't it? Yeah, look, Bernie Sanders has 3 homes. Obama's got 3 homes. I'm missing out. I think I should not be a conservative, and I should be a progressive. Take other people's money, and then I can buy my 3rd house on the water.
I think so.
Yeah,
there's no reason not to. I mean,
right. I mean, I think we're playing this wrong.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, and get a book contract where they pay you $50 million up front before you've even written the book. That's a pretty good deal, Tom.
That is a pretty good deal. Yeah. That is a good. Well, it depends. You got to write the right book, I guess.
Of course, not the left one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the right one. You got to write the right one. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Let's see. Going back to the advertisers, I don't think they listen to the show anyway. Menthol cigarettes, good menthol, vape bad. I smell the swamp in Washington. So there you are.
Well, that's an interesting correlation.
Yeah. Well, if it's menthol oil, it's not very good for you. So
no, I couldn't be. No,
yeah, I was going to say I think that's the issue. Is some of these flavored things are oil rather than plant based. So
I think so.
That's what's making the problem more than it should be.
Well,
I should say.
And you're probably going to find that the delivery of it is maybe with some type of oil byproduct too, right? Which is not good, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe some kind of oil petrochemical or something. Not good for your lungs. Probably.
No, not too good at all. So. All right, let's see. That's going to pretty well clear up our text line there. Let's check our app chat line. All right, we're okay there. And let's see. From our text line, 478-8298, does anyone beat a dead horse more than Nadler? That carcass is nothing but a pile of bones by now. Well, that's probably true. That is probably true.
Yeah. Well, after the weight he's lost in the last 30 years, he looks like skin on bones.
Yeah. Will they discontinue all vape flavors? I like the number 2 flavor. So
the number 2.
I don't know.
I don't know you.
So there we go.
Should we be looking up this list? I don't.
We should. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe for tomorrow we'll get that going for you. All right, we got to do the Rush update here. Folks are patiently waiting to hear Rush's Pearls of Wisdom, Cashman Nursery, and Madison City Propane. They want to talk to you as well. So we'll be back right after this. Here's Rush. 5 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Thursday, September 12th, 2019. 51 degrees outside. Shane Taubman, half man, half amazing. Tom Eagle, your morning mayor, and this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, making radio great again.
That's right, because we're live.
Live and in person. Well, we're in person here, I guess. So, you guys will defend everything this administration does. What a perfect administration this must be. Wow. I mean, wow. And there you are.
Yeah, I don't know that we've supported everything. I'd say 90%. Yeah. 90%. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, if somebody else comes along, we'll support them too.
Of course, you want your country to do well. I want them to do well.
I want them to do well.
Canada's sort of dependent.
Yeah.
You get a cold, we get a fever.
That's
or you
right.
get a fever, we get a cold, whatever.
Whatever, yeah. Why don't we study before banning over 6 people who vaped street oils? I think there going to be something there. So, but the CDC says, hey, based on 400 and some cases, we think you ought to rethink the vaping deal a little more strongly. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, so I had to debunk another thing of my mom's Facebook today that says that Congress disapproved a Social Security raise and gave themselves a raise, which both of them are lies.
Yeah.
But then the greater point there is, I don't don't know why people are down on Congress making any amount of money. If they knew how much it costs to live in Washington, if you don't give them money, all you're doing is making so only millionaires can be in our Congress.
That's true. Yeah, well, look at AOC. She had a hard time affording an apartment when she.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine an apartment with a bed in it probably costs, $1,000 just for an office with a little bed in it or something.
Probably. I was going to say she probably had to sleep on her desk for the first 6 months till she got paid.
Yeah, but you know how many 5,000 to 10,000 square foot homes in Alexandria owned by Democrats there are that are empty on the off season? Somebody could have let her live in one as a housekeeper.
You'd think so, and yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, just they only make like what $180,000 a year. I mean, it's really not, it's not that much.
And they get $1.5 million budget for their office.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That is pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
So they probably can buy an apartment out of that then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No, they can pay their expenses.
Yeah, that's not part of their expenses, I don't think.
So that's for like hiring aides and stuff like that?
Yeah, they got to pay people, and their postage is paid for and things like that. That's why a lot of them come out with the big bucks at the end, because they don't have to spend their salary. They just do the office expenses, and they just bank their salary, and then 10 years later, all of a sudden you got $1 million in the bank.
Well, I got an idea to fix this problem.
Okay, go for it.
We'll move Congress to Butte. We'll put them on floating piers on the Berkeley Pit. And
there you go.
I like that.
That will work.
Cheap rent, man. Cheap rent.
Yeah, there you are. All right. Hey, thanks for
don't vape.
Okay. All right, we'll try not to. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the call. All right, from our text line regarding our bad-mouthing sponsors, wonder if Carpet Town Square Media is aware. Well, if they were aware, they would have put somebody in here besides me, I guess. Let's see. Biggest source of the destruction of animal habitat is agriculture to grow vegetables. So I guess we're talking about the feral pigs destroying everything. So, but anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Farming feeds North America and 60% of the world. So I don't get it.
Yeah, we got to get rid of those friggin' hogs, though.
All right, okay.
I want you down at the border.
No, I'm going to send the RCMP out because they always get their pig.
Oh, okay, well, if you say so. Let's see. We're winding down here from our text line 4788298. Give Congress members a government-supplied barrack-style housing. I like that. Yeah, bunk beds for Nancy and AOC. That'd be good.
Well, they have those in the bunker in Virginia. Good luck with all of you.
Right. Yeah. Say goodbye, Shane.
Goodbye, Mayor. Look forward to talking to you in the AM. Be happy, be safe, everyone. God bless.
All right. All right, tomorrow, county commissioners will be in. We're going to talk about the county planning at 8 o'clock. Other than that, we'll have open lines, as we always do. So anything that's on your mind, we'll talk about. And thanks to Shane for being here. Thanks to all the callers and all the texters. And I think we covered vaping pretty well today. So if you missed any part of the show, you can get it at KMMSAM.com. Click on Tom and Shane's broadcast. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.